Assessing patients with urinary elimination disorders. This balance in the body is called homeostasis. If you put all the water that you take on one side of a scale and all of the water the body gets rid of on the other side of a scale, the sides of the scale would balance. Water leaves the body in several ways. It comes out of the skin when sweating, out of the mouth when breathing, and in urine. There is also water in the bowel movements. When feeling thirsty, the brain instructs the body to drink more fluid to be as balanced as possible. If there is not enough fluid in the body, the brain communicates with the kidneys by sending out a hormone that tells the kidneys to hold on to some fluids. When drinking more, this hormone level goes down and the kidneys will let go of more fluids. You probably might notice that sometimes urine is darker in color than other times. Remember, urine is made up of water plus the waste that is filtered out of the blood. A glomerulus, plural glomeruli, is a knot of extremely tiny blood vessels involving in filtering the blood to form urine. There are many glomeruli inside the kidney, each contained within a capsule known as Bowman's capsule. Blood at high pressure passes into the glomerulus through a tiny artery. Water and soluble waste products filter out of the blood through the leaky walls of the glomerulus and enter a space inside the Bowman's capsule before draining away through a tube called a renal tubule into the bladder. The remaining blood leaves the glomerulus through another small artery to rejoin the general circulation. Each glomerulus and its associated renal tubule make up a unit known as a nephron, and there are more than 1 million nephrons in each kidney. Normally, the glomerular filtration rate is so efficient that the whole of the blood volume passes through the kidneys within about 5 minutes. The tiny artery supplying the glomerulus is called an afferent arteriole, and it divides into numerous tiny vessels or capillaries to form the capillary tuft that is the glomerulus. Blood pressure inside the glomerulus is relatively high, helping to force blood out of the capillaries. The capillary walls are full of minute pores through which filtration occurs. Glomerular disease, where the glomeruli become inflamed or scarred, usually causes problems with filtration. A wide range of illnesses can involve the glomeruli, including HIV and diabetes. Typically, the glomerular filtration becomes more permeable, resulting in loss of protein and blood into the urine. Removal of waste products may not be as effective, leading to them building up in the blood. Symptoms may include foamy and pink urine and swollen ankles or hands. The dilution or concentration of urine is largely determined by the action of antidiuretic hormone. This hormone causes the pores of the collecting tubules to enlarge so that increased amounts of water move into the interstitial space. The end result is that water is reabsorbed and urine is more highly concentrated. When not secreted, the filtrate passes through the system without further water reabsorption so that the kidney is more dilute. Presence of urea, quantity of chloride, or the patency of the ureters would not cause large amounts of dilute urine, but rather more concentrated urine. The bladder is a hollow, expandable muscular organ located in the pelvic girdle. Although the shape of the bladder is spherical, its shape is altered by the pressure of surrounding organs. When it is empty, the inner walls of the bladder form folds, but as the bladder fills with urine, the walls become smoother. Urine leaves the bladder through another tube, the urethra. In women, the urethra is a short tube that opens just in front of the vagina. In men, it is longer, passing through the prostate gland and then the penis. The wall of the bladder is made up of 4 layers: an inner mucus layer, connective tissue layer, 3 layers of smooth muscle fibers, and an outer serous layer. The smooth muscle layers are collectively called the destrusor muscle. The destrusor muscle allows the bladder to expand as it fills with urine and to contract to release urine to the outside of the body during voiding. The urethra is a tubular connection responsible for the transport of urine from the bladder to the outside of the body. It is the body's exit tube for liquid waste. Mucous membranes create the inner lining of the tube, and it is generally surrounded by a muscular layer. The smooth muscle fibers direct longitudinally. Within the wall of the urethra, the highly specialized urethral glands coat the urethral canal with a constant secretion of mucus. The urethra is encompassed by 2 separate urethral sphincter muscles. The internal urethral sphincter muscle is created by involuntary smooth muscles, while the lower voluntary muscles create the external sphincter muscles. The internal sphincter is created by the deextrusor muscle. In the female body, the urethra is approximately 4 centimeters long and leads out of the body via urethral orifice. In the female body, the urethral orifice is located in the vestibule in the labia minora. This can be found located in between the clitoris and the vaginal orifice. In the female's body, the urethra's only function is to transport urine out of the body. Acidity pH. The pH level indicates the amount of acid in urine. Abnormal pH levels may indicate a kidney or urinary tract disorder. Concentration. A measure of concentration or specific gravity shows how concentrated particles are in the urine. Higher than normal concentration often is a result of dehydration rather than another underlying medical condition, but it may indicate a kidney disorder. Protein. Urine protein levels are normally low and aren't detected by a dipstick test. Small increases in protein usually aren't a cause for concern. Larger amounts of protein in the urine may indicate a kidney problem. Glucose. Normally the amount of glucose in urine is too low to be detected. Any detection of glucose on this test usually calls for follow-up testing for diabetes. Ketones. As with glucose, any amount of ketones detected in the urine could be a sign of diabetes and requires follow-up testing. Bilirubin. Bilirubin is a product of red blood cell breakdown. Normally, bilirubin is carried in the blood and passes into the liver, where it is removed and becomes part of bile. Bilirubin in the urine may indicate liver damage or disease. Evidence of infection, like nitrates and leukocyte esterase, are produced as a result of an infection. If either nitrates or leukocyte esterase, a product of white blood cells, is detected in the urine, it may be a sign of urinary tract infection. Blood. The dipstick test can identify if blood cells or other components of blood, such as hemoglobin or myoglobin, are present in the urine. Blood in the urine requires additional testing, as it may be a sign of kidney damage, kidney stones, infection, blood disorders, or bladder cancer. Microscopic exam. Several drops of the urine are examined with a microscope. If any of the following are observed in above average levels, additional testing may be necessary. White blood cells, leukocytes, may be a sign of infection. Red blood cells, erythrocytes, may be a sign of kidney disorder, blood disorder, or other underlying medical conditions such as bladder cancer. Epithelial cells, the cells that line the hollow organs and form the skin, in the urine may be a sign of a tumor, but more often they indicate that the urine sample was contaminated during the test and a new sample is needed. Bacteria or yeast may indicate an infection. Casts, tube-shaped proteins, may form as a result of kidney disorders. Crystals that form from chemicals in urine may be a sign of kidney stones. Urinalysis is the test that evaluates a sample of urine. Urinalysis is used to detect and assess a wide range of disorders, including urinary tract infection, kidney disorders, and diabetes. Urinalysis involves examining the appearance, concentration, and content of urine. Abnormal urinalysis results may point to a disease or illness. For example, a urinary tract infection can make urine look cloudy instead of clear. Increased levels of protein in urine can be a sign of kidney disease. Abnormal results of a urinalysis often require additional testing and further evaluation to uncover the source of the problem. +1 to +3 ketones in the urine is suggestive of ketoacidosis, starvation, or high-protein diet. A urine culture must be transported to the lab immediately after collecting or stored in a refrigerator unit until testing begins, or bacteria will begin to grow and a false reading will occur.